I think something most people don't realize that I think helped me understand Arkansas people in general was that they were settled mostly by Scots. And so the people there are just a little bit, I don't have that classic way you think of Scottish, kind of stubborn, hard-headed, but also good-natured and really caring at the same time. And so even though it's been 150 years and they're not Scots anymore, like they still carry some of those traits. From a church historical point of view, really interesting thing that I found out, I was reading one day on a P-Day when my companion was sick. We had a church almanac, and I was reading about Arkansas and what it had to contribute to the church world, and it's actually one of the very first places Wilford Woodruff went on missions. And he crossed into Arkansas from the Missouri border and began preaching there, just as a good missionary would, and quickly ran into some apostate saints that were from the Missouri area. And they were trying to lie about him in front of a crowd of people, and he bore testimony to them. This book says he bore testimony to them so strong that they both fell over dead. And he continues to work without much success in Arkansas, and I'm sure left to other southern states. But that's kind of Arkansas's claim to fame in church history. Another thing I think that's important that kind of that was different for me was there's still quite a bit of segregation with, even a little bit within the church, but especially out of the church, of white and black. There was a lot of segregation history with the civil rights movement in the 60s took place in Arkansas. And it was kind of a big player. And as schools were told to combine and mix races, a lot of richer white people bought land further in outskirts of cities. It happened in Little Rock. It happened in Memphis, Tennessee is actually part of the mission. It happened in Memphis. And in other areas around that where white communities are still established and they're still mostly white. And it's not to say that they're all racist or that they're all like that, but they're definitely not similar to Utah in the West in that aspect. They're still growing and understanding that. So